We already did this preview, right? I mean review, right?
What?
The Conor Dustin Poirier.
Yeah. No,
So we only have
the preview.
the preview.
I wrote this much for a preview. If you want to drag it.
Okay, we're definitely gonna have to drag it,
drag
and then we can drag
That's
the
what I mean.
lightweight
Like,
thing.
we'll talk about whatever.
Yeah,
We'll just fill the news in with whatever comes to mind.
Let's do it. What up, everybody, and welcome to Tell the Tape, brought to you by Gym Bag Entertainment, and this is your combat sports show by guys who love combat sports. As always, it's your host, your boy Craig, here with my co-host,
your lamenter of last chances.
Ooh,
because this card is filled with them. Not just veterans, but younger guys that need to stay afloat, things like that.
All right, well, and this is a deep card.
It really is. 13-fight card.
On a fight night.
With a lot of good names. Yeah. I mean, good matchups, too. Like
a lot of up-and-coming stars up in here. So
yeah, and people on skids, though. Like I said, last chance for some of them.
All right, UFC Fight Night Overeem versus Volkov, Saturday, February 6th at 8 p.m. and the prelims starting at 5, so this is an early one. Get your day started early. And to begin the card in the prelims, featherweight division, Ode Osborne 8-3 with 1 no contest, going up against 10-4 Jerome Rivera.
Yeah, Old Osborne is a fill-in, I believe. I don't remember who Rivera's original opponent was, but I'm pretty sure he's filling in last notice here, short notice. But yeah, the prelim starts so early because I think it's super long. Like
super long.
Most of the card.
But, and it's in the Apex Arena, so it's not a time thing.
Right, so it's cool. Osborne, contender winner. 0-1 in the UFC, though. He lost his debut to Brian Kelleher. Yeah. But he's been inactive completely since then, because that was in last January.
Wow, so he hasn't fought in a year.
But it was a round 1 guillotine, I remember it. It was pretty nice. And Jerome Rivera, 0-2 in the UFC, also a contender winner. So these guys shine on the contender, but haven't done nothing since they got in the big show.
Okay.
He's got a big KO loss to Tyson Nam in August. And then December, we just seen him fight Francisco Figueiredo, Davidson's younger brother, which he had a decent fight, but Figueiredo got the better of him in the decision. That was on the 20th of January, so it's a quick turnaround. I don't know, man. This is like one of them fights I said, like, these guys might be...
Yeah, they're on the ropes right
fighting
now.
To hang on, you know? And, I don't know, I haven't seen anything I like from Old Osborne. Brian Kelleher, obviously a great fighter.
Yeah, and he hasn't fought in over a year.
I don't like inactivity, so I'll go with Jerome Rivera, even though he's coming off 2 losses.
I'll agree with you on that.
I just like the activity.
So, in the featherweight division... Choi Seung-woo, 8-3, going up against the 10-3 Youssef Zalal. Such an exciting fighter, such a prominent name. Like, even though he rose quickly, so far down on the card.
I agree. I think because we're pretty much MMA purists.
Yeah.
Like, we don't watch for the names that people tell us to. We see good skill and we latch on to them fighters.
Yeah.
You know, but when you look at his resume in the UFC, you think, like, because when we think of him, we think, oh, he's had great fights.
Yeah.
He has, but he's got decision wins against Austin Lingo, Jordan Griffin's bitch ass that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
And Peter Barrett, which, that's not heavy competition. You
Correct.
know, never got himself a finish. Showed great heart in his 1 loss in the UFC last fight against Ilia Topuria, but Topuria was on short notice.
Yeah.
And it kind of looked like if he wasn't on short notice, Zalal might have been in trouble.
In real trouble, yeah.
So,
that's true.
That makes him 3-1 in the UFC, but like I said, we know he's got great skill. He's a great up-and-comer. He's putting it all together. Yeah, it's far down on the prelim. Still, with that being said, I agree. You know, he should be up a little higher. Choi Seung-woo, he's 1-2 in the UFC. So maybe the back against the wall a little bit. I don't think that's, a fair fight for Youssef. I think he should have got a better opponent. especially because this guy has not been active. He's got decision loss versus Movsar Evloev. Submission loss versus Gavin Tucker. Finally got a decision win in December of 2019 against Suman Mokhtarian. I think this is kind of a snub for Yusuf.
Wow. Or, you know, a return for Sung Woo, obviously, if he hasn't fought since 2019.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Yusuf's allowed. If he doesn't win this fight, that'd be pretty sad.
Right, it could be back against the wall for him, too, even though he only has one loss in the UFC.
Wow. All right, in the women's flyweight division, Molly McCain, 10-3, going up against 6-1, Lara Procopio.
Yes. Procopio, 0-1 in the UFC.
Wow.
Decision loss versus Carol Rosa in August of 2019. Another person with inactivity.
That's why I didn't recognize her name.
Molly Meatball McCann. She's 3-2 in the UFC. Another just person that we like to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hasn't had the best of luck. However, you know, she had a submission loss to Jillian Robertson in her debut, but then 3 nice decision wins: Priscilla Cachoeira, Ariane Lipsky, and Diana Belbita. That's quality competition. Yep. And then she had a decision loss against Tyler Santos in July. But I'm definitely going with Meatball here in this fight.
It's tough too because I like the Meatball.
It's tough when you haven't seen a fighter who has only 1 loss.
And Carol Rosa, tough competition. I'm gonna give Lara a chance.
Yeah, because you look at Molly, you know, she started in the UFC with a loss.
Yeah.
And then rifled off 3 decision wins in a row. So maybe Procopio's on the way to that. But I'm going with the Meatball.
All right. Women's bantamweight division. Speaking of her, Carol Rosa, 13-3, going up against the rising star, 10-2, Jocelyn Edwards, making a quick turnaround.
Very quick turnaround. January 16th, made her debut, and on the Max Holloway card on ABC, with a nice decision versus Wu Yanan. Showed a lot of good stuff. Great striking. Carol Rosa with the decision win over Procopio, as I said, and a decision win against Vanessa Mello this past July, which was good too. So she's 2-0. These are 2 up-and-comers. This is
in honor of Black History Month. Jocelyn Edwards.
I think she's the better pick from what we've seen from her. But that's even better.
Yeah. In the catchweight division, Devontae Smith, 10-2, going up against 16-6, Justin James.
Catchweight, 160. I don't know if this was one of them filled in short notice. I don't really know. So.
I feel like usually catchweights are that because I feel like neither one of you can make weight like they scrap.
Or at least one of them couldn't make weight, so they, you know, the other guy was like, okay, I'll let him go at 160, you know, and then he can stop cutting weight. You know what I mean?
That's valid.
But Devontae Smith, 2-1 in the UFC, contender winner. He had a round 1 KO versus Julian Erosa and a round 1 KO versus Dong Hyun Ma, which is impressive.
Yeah.
And then he was Kama Worthy's first victim back in August of 2019. Man. Quick round 1 KO.
Yeah.
So he either puts you out in round 1 or gets put out. You know, so he goes for it. 2-1 in the UFC. Justin James, the opposite, 1-2 in the UFC. His debut KO'd Frank Camacho with that big hook. It was gorgeous.
Yep.
And but then he lost by submission to Gavin Tucker. And then he got TKO'd with that body kick by Gabriel Benitez in December. That was nasty.
I feel like Gavin Tucker got 2 submissions on this card.
Yeah. From people against. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to go with the knockout artist.
I'm going to go with Smith for sure, rebounding. Haven't seen him since August 2019, which is interesting. You know?
In the featherweight division, Timur Valiev, 16-2 with 1 no contest, going up against 8-5 Martin Day.
This is definitely a, like I said, back against the wall type of fight. Timur Valiev, 0-0-1 in the UFC. His no contest is his only UFC fight.
Wow.
He did technically, to me, get KO'd by Trevin Jones in August, but then Jones tested positive for marijuana. Give me a break.
They're working on getting rid of that though.
They are.
They're not going to test for marijuana
Most
anymore.
states aren't doing it anymore. They don't have it across the United States or across some different countries, but other countries are jumping on board and stuff too, where they have it already.
It's about time.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. Trevin Jones didn't have any performance enhancement from smoking some weed.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
So, come on. And he KO'd Teamer early in the first round, but it gets switched to a no contest. Anyways, Martin Day 0-3 in the UFC.
0-3?
Yeah.
How has he even got a contract still?
Yeah, decision losses to Ping Yuan Liu, KO loss versus Davey Grant, and Anderson Dos Santos in November. His last KO loss. So 2 KO losses in a row.
I got no faith in this guy.
Yeah, I mean both of them getting knocked out, but
Martin Day 3 losses
Teamer less
in a row.
times getting knocked out.
yeah. You just got to go with the less.
I guess
he ain't got no losses.
They fighting for the job though.
They are fighting for the job.
He ain't got the loss in the UFC like this dude does. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, in the light heavyweight division, Mike Rodriguez 11-5 with 1 no contest, going up against 10-2 Danilo Marquez.
Yeah, Mike Rodriguez, I really like.
Yep.
Tough
fighter.
I had some bad luck in the UFC. Also, tested positive. Got a no contest in the UFC. Test in July of 2019 for some weed. Stupid. Then he gets a round 1 KO loss versus Jung Da-un, probably the best Korean fighter, or it might be Do Ho Choi, but that's a toss-up. But then comes back with a big KO win versus Marcin Prachnio in August. That was a good one.
That was a really good win.
Then the ridiculous fight, I don't know if you remember, he lost by submission by Kimura to Ed Herman in September after the bullshit low blow that should have been a TKO. Because it was really a body shot.
Yeah, it was a body shot.
And the ref messed up, called it a low blow, and Ed Herman just was like, okay, I'll grab my balls.
Yeah, he was like, he goes, I didn't know where I got hit. I just know that it hurt.
Yeah.
My stomach hurt.
That was a TKO.
That was a TKO.
So that was upsetting there. He's had some tough luck, like I said.
I'm surprised he didn't try to get that at least turned to a no contest.
Yeah. But he just ate it.
No, my question would be, I mean, the answer is going to be no to this, but like, if they officially across the board eliminate marijuana as a drug testing, should you then eliminate all no contests?
Especially if there was a win.
Yeah, if it was a win.
You know what I mean? Yeah, if they actually had the fight and they won. Yeah, hell yeah.
I think so.
Turn it back to a stoppage. I agree. Danilo Marquez 1-0 in the UFC. Decision win versus Khadis Ibrahimov in August. That was a good debut. And I don't know.
I like Mike Rodriguez.
I do too. It's hard to bet against him. He's back and forth though. And he got the submission loss technically, so let's say he gets a win again. Mike Rodriguez.
All right, the main event of the prelims in the lightweight division, Michael Johnson, 20-16, going up against 35-17, Clay Guida. And I feel like if you're Mike Johnson and you gotta face Clay Guida, it's like you're on the hot seat
again. Like I said, you know what I mean? Last chance.
Michael Johnson hasn't had many wins.
We love him.
Recently. I love Michael Johnson. I think he's an excellent fighter. A lot of bad luck. He was on a great little tear where he was knocking people out, and then he got drunk and had a hangover from losing to Khabib.
Yeah, I think so. Had notable wins from Michael Johnson. Well, he's 11-11 in the UFC. Now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, 500 with numbers like that. That's something. I don't know. But, he's a fan favorite. He's performed great even against big names.
Yeah.
And,
he got a knockout over Dustin.
That's why he stays here. Yeah, notable wins. Decision win versus Tony Ferguson. Stoppage win versus Edson Barboza. And KO Dustin Poirier. Decision win versus Artem Lobov. Andre Fili. Michael Johnson been in every weight class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
However, he's suffered 3 losses in a row as of late. Big KO versus Josh Emmett. That would have put anyone to sleep.
Yeah. In a fight that he was winning and gassed out.
That's where a lot of his losses come from, his conditioning. You know what I mean? Where he hurts a guy.
And he looks like a dude who would have good conditioning, but
Right.
he has very, very, like, whack conditioning.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like he just thinks he's going to win. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's just relying on them hands.
But decision loss to Stevie Ray, that was the worst looking one, I think. And even though he got submitted in the early first round against Thiago Moises this past May with an ankle lock, but still the decision loss versus Stevie Ray was what did it for me. I didn't like that. Hasn't been the same in a long time.
Since Khabib.
Hard
he
to
lost
bet
to
on
Khabib, and then I remember he fought Gaethje, same thing. He was beating Gaethje up, and Gaethje with the fortitude just keeps pushing forward and ends up wearing him down and beating him down until he dropped to his butt.
And it was the cardio that failed him.
Yeah.
You know?
It seems like the thing for my
If he had more cardio, he could have finished Gaethje.
Could have finished Gaethje. Probably could have put it to Emmett.
Where does that put him, too? Finishing guys like Gaethje and Emmett along that resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing I always love about him is that he eats his shit whole. If you remember that press conference.
No. He eats his shit whole?
Some dude said something about eating shit like you for breakfast or something like that. And he was like, and one thing about me, boy, I eat my shit whole. And it was, one of them ones where everybody's up at the table and like multiple people just laughed like, yo, what? It was a good one. It's a forever clip.
Awesome.
Clay Guida, 15-14 in the UFC.
So he's got a better record. Technically.
Record. Yes, more wins. More losses, but overall better.
Yeah.
Again, big wins. Nate Diaz, Anthony Pettis, BJ Penn.
Wait, he's beat these guys?
Yes. TKO wins versus, those were decision wins. TKO wins versus Rafael Dos Anjos, Joe Lozon. It's notable wins, notable losses to Charles Oliveira and Jim Miller as of late. And then his last fight, decision loss versus Bobby Green in June. So also on a 3-fight skid, as well as Michael Johnson. Great time to match them up. Honestly.
It is a great time to match them up.
Looking at their record, looking at their wins and losses.
Yeah.
I
feel like it's either a retirement fight for Guida or a cut fight for Michael Johnson.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as I said, last chance.
Mm-hmm.
This whole card's like that. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Awesome, though.
Yeah.
All right.
Because what kind of emotion can you get out of a fighter with that? You know what I mean?
And what type of performance do you get from these two guys?
It leaves you in a place mentally. If you stay focused, like this really is your last chance. What kind of performance?
Yeah, what kind of performance do you see? I'm gonna give my boy Michael Johnson one last.
I don't think he's got it. I gotta go with Clay Guida on the cardio.
Yeah. Clay Guida can go.
We almost described them right there as even, except that.
Yeah. This is true.
Clay never wilted.
And Clay doesn't really get put to sleep, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we know he can go 5 rounds.
Right.
And it's not even a 5-round fight.
Right.
So
he can get submitted, but Johnson ain't never gonna try it.
No. No.
Yeah. But I like it. But I gotta pick Guida.
Yeah. Alrighty. Alright, start the main card in the lightweight division. Carlos Diego Ferreira, 17-2 going up against 19-4-1, Beneil Dariush.
This is a great fight. I love this one. This might be fight of the whole card for me.
Really?
I love it. I love this fight a lot. Two guys that are really hungry to make it to the next step. Diego Ferreira, we haven't seen him as much because of injury, but great fighter. 8-2 in the UFC. Back in 2014, he lost by decision to Beneil Dariush, so it's a rematch fight here.
Okay.
Had also a KO loss to Dustin Poirier in 2015. Since then, 6 wins in a row, including Jared Gordon, Rustam Kabilov, submission win over Anthony Pettis. I believe maybe the only person to tap him. I'm not even sure about that.
Wow.
And that was his last fight, January of 2020. So inactive all of 2020.
Yeah, I don't think.
After tapping Anthony Pettis.
Yeah, because before Max Holloway, nobody had knocked out Pettis, but I don't think Pettis has ever been finished.
Yeah.
But outside of Max Holloway, and then I forgot who got him the second time, but he definitely got finished. He's definitely been finished twice now, but.
Yeah,
Wow,
Diego Ferreira.
That's impressive.
Got the rear naked choke on him in January, last year. So inactive since then. Beneil Dariush been pretty active. Wins versus Michael Johnson, Jim Miller, Thiago Moises, Drew Dober, Frank Camacho, Drakkar Klose, and Scott Holtzman. 4 KOs or submission in a row. So 4 stoppages straight. It's on a crazy tear. He used to be just a submission dude, but with the knockout of Camacho and Drakkar Klose and Scott Holtzman, he's got 3 KOs and he tapped out Drew Dober.
Wow.
Dude's a threat. He turned the corner. Both of these fighters had that.
Yeah.
Had some losses.
And then turned the corner hard.
And
this is a tough call.
It's either the next level or you go down or you know what I mean? Dariush been around a little bit longer, 13-4 in the UFC. Ferreira 8-2 in the UFC. Damn near the same record though.
I'll go with Carlos.
Damn near the same list. I gotta go with Dariush.
All right, nice split. In the featherweight division, Cody Stamann, 19-3-1, going up against 11-1, Askar.
Yeah, Askar. Not to be confused with the flyweight fighter Askar Askarov.
I thought it was. I had to click on his name to make sure they didn't cut it off.
Yeah, well, I was like, what did you name my boy wrong? And clicked on it, and the picture was different. I was like, that's not him. I know what he looks like.
Yeah.
Right? And plus, it's a featherweight fight. Cody Stamann, I guess, done with the bantamweight division. Seems like he's moving up here. 5-2-1 for Stamann in the UFC. He had a draw with Song Yadong. He's got wins over Brian Kelleher and Alejandro Perez. Decision loss versus Jimmy Rivera in July, though. Jimmy Rivera, fantastic fighter.
Yes.
And those were all at bantamweight. So here he is at featherweight now. Debut for Askar. I don't know a thing about it.
Nothing about it.
So we'll see.
I'm just gonna take a chance on him. Askar, it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him too because I don't like Stamann.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
me neither.
He's a solid winner.
Yeah,
but he's a boring guy, and I don't think he's going much further. We'll see.
All right, in the flyweight division, Alexandre Pantoja. Is it Pantoja? Because it didn't look like I saw the J, and I was like, I don't remember his name being Alexandre. All right, Alexandre Pantoja, 22-5, going up against 15-4, Manel Kopp.
Yeah, Manel Kopp making his long-awaited kind of debut here. The Ryzen promotion in Japan actually is shut down during the pandemic. Never came back. Hasn't come back. He was the bantamweight champion.
Oh.
And everybody thought he would make his way somewhere.
Yeah.
And he's coming off 3 KOs in a row on his way to the Ryzen Bantamweight Championship, which was his last fight last year. And that was January, right before the pandemic hit and shut their whole business down. So yeah, long anticipated debut here. I'm excited for it. Pantoja, 6-3 in the UFC. Flyweight contender since the flyweight division's been around. Decision win versus Brandon Moreno in 2018. Decision loss versus Davison Figueiredo in 2019. Huge KO in round 1 versus Matt Schnell in 2019. But decision loss versus the man Askar Askarov in this past July was his last fight.
Ooh. Interesting.
Right.
Interesting.
And dude, Askarov gets no love.
No love.
Nobody even knows who he is. But he fought Brandon Moreno to a draw. and beat the likes of Alexander Pantoja.
Interesting.
And he's ranked like number 3 in the flyweight division.
Oh, really?
And well, he should be.
Yeah.
If you ask me, with his resume, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably the best pure wrestler in the flyweight division.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. He gets no love because he don't talk. Well, and just like Pantoja, they're not active enough. I don't like these guys that fight once a year.
Yeah, I feel like that is a big thing. If you're not fighting at least twice a year, like, nobody really knows who you are.
Here he is trying to do a little better. He had the loss to Askarov in July, so, you know, we haven't seen Askarov since then. So Pantoja's at least, 7 months later.
You know what, the last time I misjudged a guy coming from another promotion, he surprised me.
Right.
I'm going to let Mano surprise me again, and I'm going to pick him.
I want to pick him too. I think I'm going to go with him too. He's devastating striker, real power at flyweight, which not a lot of people possess except for like the champion. You know what I mean? And you see what that gives you at flyweight to possess that natural power.
Yep.
Gives you a big edge.
Super advantage.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. In the women's bantamweight division, Marion Renault, 9-6-1, going up against 7-1 Macy Chasen.
Yeah, it's the one fight that was canceled.
It was canceled. Ah, man. I was
Which would've
excited
made it
about
even,
that
right?
fight.
And it was like the only women's fight on the card, I think.
No.
Was it?
We have two. Molly McCann.